What up, people? It's Friday. IOBA. My name is TC. So check this out right here now. Since this incarnation right here of my channel, I got one video that got almost 10,000 views. Now that's a lot for a guy like me. I know a bunch of motherfuckers get 10,000 in a night, but for my little ass, that's pretty good. And it was a video where I talked about Tim Scott, Senator Tim Scott, and all of that boot licking and ass kissing he was doing for Donald Trump. I put the link to that video in the description. Okay. All that boot licking he was doing. He said, "I just love you." Remember that video when Tim Scott was on stage, straight cooning, man, in the front of the whole world to Donald Trump. Now, Donald Trump got in office, and Donald Trump is filling out his cabinet. He's giving this guy a job and that guy a job, and all of the people that supported him. He even gave Vivek Ramaswamy a fucking job. You dig me? How did Vivek get famous? Shitting on black people. But I digress from Vivek. I'll talk about him in a minute. But he got a job. Tim Scott ain't getting no job. I told you, them white boys, A, don't love y'all, and B, they're never going to accept you into the big club. Be happy with what you got. Cooning done took you a long way. Stay right there, because that's about it. The white boys don't like people who they feel have betrayed their own people, even if they betrayed them to their side. If you look at the internet, right, and look at some of these podcasts around here, where all these little podcasters are going back and forth and everybody trying to shit on black people to make money. Even black people from other parts of the world are shitting on American black people to make money. Well, the white boys that they link up with, they don't really accept them. The white boys don't really accept them. They think they traitors. I've always known this because where I used to live and what the white boys told me out their own mouth. So Tim Scott, guys like Tim Scott, what's that other fool, Byron Donalds, the Jim Crow dude, them white boys don't love y'all. They think y'all a traitor to your own people. And you're lucky to be where you are. So shut the fuck up and do what I tell you to do. That is what they think of them black Republicans who sold their soul and didn't, and didn't get really shit for it. Try to get rich off of throwing their own people under the bus. I'm telling you. So I'm waiting for them to pop their head up. I mean, I know Donald Trump ain't finished yet. He ain't made all his appointments yet. But I ain't seen a black one yet. I ain't even heard a black one being talked about as for a cabinet position, unless I'm missing something. He's talking about firing generals and doing all this. I think most of that is just talk. But a lot of the domestic shit, he gonna try. He gonna push through. And he gonna do it without the help of coons and sellouts. Donald Trump is. He gonna do all of this new policy and everything without the help of coons and sellouts. So, what was it all for? Y'all motherfuckers don't listen, but I digress. I'm going to move on to another topic. The Department of Education. I work in education. I work with young adults and high school kids, and all of them have individualized educational plan, IEPs. All of that. Matter of fact, my job is tied to the federal government. I'm an ESC job coach, exceptional student education job coach, right? And every child, every young person I work with has an IEP. There are millions of kids and young people around the country whose parents depend on these programs that we work, because some of these kids are very, very, very difficult to manage. I kid you, some of them are very difficult to manage. Donald Trump is going to try to cut all that. All of that money for education and special education is at risk of being cut by Donald Trump and Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy in their, what do you call it, government efficiency program or whatever the fuck. They just created a spot for them, but like I said, Vivek got a job. Byron didn't. But yeah, I work with kids, young people with IEPs. That is the Department of Education that they're talking about cutting. There's some young people in my program who come back to school and tell me that their daddy voted for Donald Trump. And they voted for Donald Trump. I said, who you vote for, young man? I voted for Donald Trump. Then the other one, I voted for Donald Trump too, just like my dad. That's how they talk, right? Just saying, they're little white boys. Well, they 19 and I think the other one is 20. Their parents voted for Donald Trump. These two young men get a check every month from the federal government because their young people have IEPs are in the special education department. When that money gets cut, so does that check. That is called voting against your own interests. You dig me? That is called voting against your own fucking interests. You got your two young boys who are 18 and 19 years old that function on the level of 12 or 11-year-olds. They need help the rest of their lives. You don't make, but their parents are regular low-wage workers, just like everybody else. But they get a subsidy, a check, from the federal government because their children have an IEP and they need special services. Services that people like me provide. And these people go in and they vote for a guy that's going to cut the very service that supports them. That is voting against your own interests, and that's some of the dumbest shit ever. I'm just going to say it. But the only reason they did it was because they could not bring themselves to vote for the black woman. They forget all the benefits that they live off. They'll burn the whole house down just to spite their face. It's just crazy to me. It's going to be a rough 4 fucking years. It really is. It's going to be a rough 4 fucking years. It's going to be, I think, an opportune year for us as black people to come back together, regroup, and rebuild our nation. It's time for that. It's time for us to rebuild our nation. And we can do without all of the fucking coons. Tim Scott, Byron Donalds, Candace Owens, and all the rest of them. They can stay right the fuck over where they at. Because the white folks is done with you. You performed your service, they done with you. Yeah, the nigga wake up call is gonna be coming at a rapid pace. I'm telling you, the Negro wake up calls is gonna be coming at a real rapid pace. And I'm telling y'all this as my opinion, you know. I ain't got. I look at a lot of news and I look at a lot of podcasts. I take in a lot of information, but I always did that ever since I was a kid. I was a news junkie, but right now I like to put shit in, you know, layman's terms because I always say it's all a game, you know, and you watch it play out and you see the patterns. And I see the patterns, man. Every time one of these black folks get out here and sell their soul, look at what happened to Omarosa. They use your ass up and then they get rid of you. That's been happening ever since I can remember. And it's going to always be like that because people going to always just think about themselves. Black people, a lot of black people, always think about themselves and not their nation, not their people. Well, it's time it's time to start doing that. Cause shit gonna get real cold real fast after Trump get in office. Just saying. Anyway, that's it for now, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and get this workout in this Friday night, get my weekend started. Y'all hit the subscribe button. I got a few new subscribers. Welcome to my channel. I am TC and I talk shit on a daily basis. And sometimes I get it right. I'm going to say most of the time I get it right. Sometimes, like everybody else, I get fooled. But anyway, y'all hit the subscribe button on your way out. Like the video. Catch y'all on the next one. TC, and I'm out. Peace.